ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25. We will continue from 31 to 44. So, this is very important because this is coming as a response from uh, um, Kapila Muni, because Devahuti asked three questions. Three questions. One is, what kind of bhakti should I perform to easily attain your lotus feet? This is first question. The second one is, explain jnana by which one understands the tattva. Jnana and tattva. So this is second question. This will be answered in the chapter 26, 27. And then third question is about explain yoga, which is dhyana yoga, attained so that Lord for liberation. How many limbs does it has? So this is explained in the chapter 28. So Sankhya philosophy is what Kapila Muni has expounded. And here we can see Maitreya is saying, Viditvartam Kapilo Matur Itam Jata Sneho Yatra Tanva Bijataha Tatvam Tatvam Nayam Yat Pravandanti Sankyam Provacha Vai Bhakti Vitana Yogam. So after hearing to this, so Kapila Muni could understand. So these questions are answered, and which is actually Sankhya philosophy. He described the Sankhya philosophy, system of philosophy, which is a combination of devotional service, mystic realization, as received by disciplic succession. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Devanam Gunalinganam Anusravika Karmanam Sattva Evaika Manaso Vrittihi Swabhaviki Tuya Animitta Bhagavati Bhakti Siddher Gariyasi. So these verses yesterday we have covered, so I will not go in detail, but it says the mind's natural duty is to serve. When that service spirit is engaged in the devotional service without any motive, that is far better even than salvation. So, in this way, bhakti performed without material desire is very, very important. Devanam guna linganam. So, and then he says that bhakti is a stage after liberation. The conclusion is that when the mind, without being deviated by either Vedic injunctions or by material activities, is fully engaged in Krishna consciousness, it is far better than the most aspired for liberation for material entanglement. And then these two lines I said yesterday we can remember. Jarayati asuya kosham nigirnam alano, see, analo yatha. Uh, just like fire in the stomach digests all that we eat, devotional service dissolves the subtle body of living entity without separate effort. Then we came to Naikatma tam me spruhanti kechin mad pada seva bhirata mad ihaha ye anyonyato bhagavata prasanya sabha jayante mama paurushani. A pure devotee who is attached to activities of devotional service and who always engages in service of my lotus feet never desires to become one with me. Such a devotee who is unflinchingly engaged always glorifies my pastime and activities. So, what is the activity of a devotee is not for his own self praise, but he is ever eager to offer everything to the Lord. That is what he is interested. And these are the characteristics of a devotee in bhava, attained by Vaidhi Bhakti. So, from verse number 34 to 38, we can understand what kind of mood does a devotee carries. A devotee is not interested to merge in the Supreme Lord. That's why here it is said that he wants to not try and become merged in the Lord, but he always want to serve the Lord. Never desire impersonal liberation always engage in service of mat pada seva bhirata, and then glorify my activities in association of devotees. Sabha jayante mama paurushani, my glories. That's what he does. Pashyanti te me ruchirani ambashanta prasanna vaktraruna lochanani rupani divyani varapradani sakam vacham spruhaniyam vadanti. He said, my devotees always see the smiling face of my form with eyes like the rising moon sun. They like to see my various transcendental forms, which are all benevolent, and they also talk favorably with me. This word favorably is very important. Hmm? And in this connection, we discussed about what is Archa Vigraha. The Lord is so merciful that though the Lord is completely transcendental and spiritual entity, uh, yeah, but for our material eyes, so he manifests himself in the form of it could be a rock or a metal in the form of Archa Vigraha. The smiling face of the deity in the temple is beheld by the devotees as transcendental and spiritual, and the decoration of the body of the Lord is very much appreciated by the devotees. It is the duty of spiritual master to teach how to decorate the deity in the temple, how to cleanse the temple, how to worship the deity. Hmm? The devotees express their minds before the deity. This is another thing. Why we go to temple and we offer our obeisances and take darshan is devotees express their minds before the deity. In many instances, the deity also gives answers, but one must be very elevated devotee in order to be able to speak with the Lord. Sometimes the Lord informs the devotee through dreams. These exchanges of feelings between the deity and devotees are not understandable by atheists. So better not to speak with, huh? Oh wow, you may be excited, but it's not so appreciated by others. तैर्दर्शनाय दर्शनाय वयवैर् उदार विलासहासेक्षित वामसूक्तैः हृतात्मनो हृत प्राणांश्च भक्तिर् अनिच्छतो मे गतिम् अन्वीं प्रयुङ्क्ते. Upon seeing the charming forms of the Lord, smiling and attractive, and hearing his very pleasing words, the pure devotee always loses all other consciousness. His senses are freed from all other engagements and he becomes absorbed in devotional service. Thus, in spite of his unwillingness, he attains liberation without separate endeavor. So a devotee is not so keen to get, liberation. Even the third class devotee are liberated. Yeah. So liberation is not so difficult. It says there are three divisions of devotees: first class, second class, and third class. Even the third class devotees are liberated souls. It is explained in this verse that although they do not have knowledge, simply by seeing the beautiful decoration of the deity in the temple, the devotees become absorbed in the thought of him and lose all other consciousness. Simply by fixing oneself in Krishna consciousness, engaging the senses in the service of the Lord, one is imperceptibly liberated. Hmm. How to understand this? We ourselves can assess our own um, mm, experiences. What when we are absorbed in kirtan, when we are absorbed in katha, when we are absorbed in the darshan of the Lord, we forget ourselves. We forget we are totally absorbed and only in that. So that is what is liberation. Liberation means detachment from material entanglement, detachment from material contact. So that is attained very swiftly for a devotee. Simply by discharging uncontaminated devotional service as prescribed in scriptures, one becomes equal to Brahman. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. This means that the living entity in his original state is Brahman because he is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Hmm? So, this is the understanding that even great impersonalists like Shukadeva Goswami and the four Kumaras were attracted by the beauty of the deities in the temple, by the decoration and the aroma of Tulsi offered to the Lord, and they became devotees. Here, the word Vilasa is very important. I think we covered this. We are going closer, closer. Vilasa refers to the activities or pastimes of the Lord. So that's why I don't know in your areas, but there are some restaurants which are named by the name Vilasa. Rukmini Vilas, Lakshmi Vilas, and all. What does Vilas means? It is refers to the activities or the pastimes of the Lord. Ideally, that means it is for the pleasure of the Lord. But of course, we are naming, just like people use Balaji name not only for temples, but they use for wine and all these things. Or there is also theaters. Yeah, theaters are also named like villas. Oh, it's a nice activities place. So it is prescribed duty in the temple worship that not only should one visit the temple to see the deity nicely decorated, but at the same time he should hear the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, or similar literature which is regularly recited in the temple. This is very, very important. It is not that the temple is a place where we go and open up our locker of that, what do you call this? Locker of our heart, which is filled with lot of anarthas, and our mind, our mouth, everything we engage uh, envious mentality, or our own selfish desires that we want to open and share that with the Lord. No, that is a place where one goes and sees the darshan of the Lord. But very important, not only the darshan of the Lord, to understand the darshan, to understand the purpose of darshan, to understand the intricate details of the darshan of the Lord, one has to hear to the glories of His mm, Shaurani. So it is very, very important that one is careful in this, not just going to temple for recreation, or going to a temple for obligation, or going to temple out of sentiment. No, it is for gaining this mood that is possible by who have no literary knowledge or no time to read Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, get the opportunity to hear about the pastimes of the Lord in the temple. Even third class devotees who have no literary knowledge or no time to read Bhagavatam get the opportunity to hear about the pastimes of the Lord. This is what I say. In when I was in engineering, I could hear that though I didn't read Bhagavad Gita, I didn't read Bhagavatam, there were devotees Bhagavatas. What they used to do is they used to read the whole Rukmini Kalyanam or some pastime of the Lord in 3 hours, right from beginning till the end, with all prose and poetic and also dioramic performances. So, and then, yeah, we come to 37th verse, which is telling about don't desire higher planets. The devotees, na, they are atho vibhutim mama maya vinastam, aishwaryam ashtangam anu pravrittam shriyam bhagavatim vah sprishyanti bhadram parasyamete anu parasyamete snu vate tu loke. Anusvate loke. So he's saying, thus, because he is completely absorbed in thought of me, the devotee does not desire even the highest benediction obtainable in the upper planetary systems, including Satyaloka. But they attain all benedictions even in this life, and I award them my own abode. Devotee, he may not desire anything like this, but he will get. It is said, Bhagavatim Bhadram. In Vaikuntha planets, everything is eternally peaceful. Yet a pure devotee does not even aspire to be promoted there. But still he gets that advantage. He enjoys all the facilities of material and spiritual worlds. We can know the example of Prahlad Maharaj, we can know the example of Dhruva Maharaj. Even during the present lifespan, I mean, of their lifespan, they enjoyed, and they, when they went to the spiritual world, they also served the Lord. न करिचित मत परा शांत रूपे न नन क्षयन्ति नो मे निमिषो लेधि हेति येषाम अहम प्रिय आत्म सुतश्च सखा गुरु सुहृदो दैवम इष्टम. This is a level of called Raganuga Bhakti. Raganuga Bhakti, the devotee is in this mood. What is he saying? Such devotees are not deprived of any opulence or affected by time, because they accept Lord as their lover, son, friend, etc. in the spiritual world. That is the mood. For the devotees engaged in Krishna consciousness in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, there is no influence of time. From this verse, we can learn that we can love the Supreme Personality of Godhead as our dear object, dearmost object, as a friend, as a son, as a preceptor, or as a well wisher, and there will be no cheating and no end of such love. Yeah. In the material world, we know if we have loved sometimes they may not appreciate our love. They may not reciprocate our love. The best friend of us is Krishna. Hmm. And best lover is Krishna. Hmm. Best son. If we aspire, if we pray, we can see here what happened. Kardama Muni wanted. Uh, Brahma indeed says you will be blessed with a son like the Lord. So, in these different ways, a devotee is blessed association of the Lord. Similarly, we should accept only Krishna as a supreme spiritual master. We shall eternally enjoy the relationship with the Supreme Lord in different aspects. A special feature of this verse is the acceptance of the Supreme Lord as the supreme preceptor. Why? Because Bhagavad Gita was spoken directly by the Supreme Lord. We we should accept only Krishna as the supreme spiritual master. Here, there is a point. I was reading other day, someone was commenting on Bhagavad Gita. He was saying Bhagavad Gita is not sung by Krishna, but it was there was some ghost that entered into Krishna that made him to speak like that, and that ghost is nothing but he was referring the verse 1132 where it says kalas kalasyaham. Yeah, he says kala is I. So he says he says that Krishna didn't speak Bhagavad Gita, it was Kala which spoke. Huh? It is very easy to refute that. Huh? Mm. But of course, he gives so. I mean, I don't know if you have time to enjoy. Uh, I better prefer that we don't read such kind of things. But yeah, for a purpose, I had to read A to Z and understand what is his presentation. So yeah, so that no, we want to say that the supreme spiritual master is Krishna. There is no other person. So Krishna, of course, means Krishna and his confidential devotees. Krishna is not alone. When we speak of Krishna, Krishna means Krishna in his name, in his form, in his qualities, in his abode, and in his associates. Krishna is never alone, for the devotees of Krishna are not impersonal. Krishna should be accepted as one's best friend. He will never cheat. He will always give his friendly advice and friendly protection to the devotee. If Krishna is accepted as a son, he will never die. Here we have a very loving son or child, but the father and mother, or those who are affectionate towards him, always hope, may my son not die. But Krishna actually never will die. Therefore, those who accept Krishna as their son will never be bereft of their son. In many instances, devotees have accepted deity as a son. In Bengal, there are many such instances, and even after death of the deity performs the Shraddh ceremony for the father. The relationship is never destroyed. Yeah. So anyway, imam lokam tathaivamun atmanam ubhayayam ubhayayinam atmanam anuyechheha ye raha prasavo grahaha visrujya sarvan anyam cha mam evam vishwato mukham bhajanti ananyaya bhaktya tan mrityur ati paraye. No, it says, for one, hmm, devotees, thus the devotee who worships me, the all-pervading Lord of the universe, in unflinching devotional service, gives up all aspirations to be promoted to heavenly planets or to become happy in this world with wealth, children, cattle, home, or anything in relationship. I take him to the other side of the birth and death. This is the promise of the Lord that He gives protection, and not only protection, He will ensure our journey successful, that He brings us out of the cycle of birth and death and plug us into the spiritual world. Nanyatra mad bhagavatah pradhana purusheshvarat atmana sarvabhutanam bhayam tivram nivartate. And now we have so many kinds of fears, and the fear, Lord is saying, hey, if there is a devotee who accepts me, then he is free from terrible fear. The terrible fear of birth and death can never be forsaken by anyone who resorts to any shelter other than myself. He is saying clearly, Krishna is saying that If one takes shelter of any other than me, then he will be still be put into fear. But for I am the Almighty Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original source of all creation, and also Supreme Soul of all souls. Hmm? What is the fact? How to understand this is mentioned in the next verse. मद्भयात् वाति वातो यम सूर्यस् तपसि तपति मद्भयात् वर्ष वर्षतीन्द्रो दहति अग्निर मृत्युश्चरति मद्भयात्. So here this fear, why we don't have to fear when we take shelter of the Lord? Because everyone fears the Lord. It is because of my supremacy that wind blows out of fear of me. The sun shines out of fear of me. The Lord of clouds, Indra, sends forth showers out of fear of me. Fire burns out of fear of me. And death goes about taking its toll out of fear of me. So here, whoever that philosopher, thinker, I don't know who said Kala, here we can see even that Kala is scared of the Lord. Hmm? It said here. Um, So by fear of the Supreme Lord, the wind god, the sun god are acting. Uh, Bhishasmad Agnis Chandrascha Mrityur Dhavati Panchamaha. Agni, Indra, and Mrityu are also acting under his direction. These are statements of the Vedas. Hmm? Jnana Vairagya Yuktena Bhakti Yogena Yoginaha Kshemaya Pada Moolam Me uh, Pravishyanti Akuto Bhayam. Akuto Bhayam means without fear. Hmm? The yogis equipped with transcendental knowledge, jnanam, and renunciation, vairagyam. Jnana vairagya yuktena. Yuktena means one who is equipped with these things. Bhakti yogena yogina. Engaged in devotional service for their eternal benefit. Huh? Kshemaya pada moolam me, and if they take shelter, Kshemaya pada moolam me, where at the feet of the Lord, pravishyanti akuto bhayam, then what is the result? Then, since I am the Lord, they are thus eligible to enter into the kingdom of Godhead without fear. एतावान् एव लोकेऽस्मिन् पुंसां निःश्रेय शोधयः तीव्रेण भक्तियोगेन मनो मयि अर्पितं स्थिरम्. Therefore, persons whose minds are fixed on the Lord engage in the intensive practice of devotional service. That is the only means for attainment of final perfection of life. Manomai Arpitam means the mind being fixed on the Lord is very important. One should fix his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord or his incarnation. To be fixed steadily in that freedom is the way of liberation. Ambarish Maharaj is an example. He fixed his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. He spoke only on the pastimes of the Lord. He smelled only the flowers and tulsi offered to the Lord. He walked only to the temple of the Lord. He engaged his hands in cleansing the temple. He engaged his tongue in tasting the foodstuff offered to the Lord. And he engaged his ears for hearing the great pastimes of the Lord. In that way, all his senses were engaged. First of all, the mind should be engaged at the feet of the Lord very steadily and naturally. Because the mind is the master of the senses, when the mind is engaged, all senses become engaged. That is Bhakti Yoga. Yoga means controlling the senses. The senses cannot be controlled in the proper sense of the term, they are always agitated. This is true also with a child. How long can he be forced to sit down silently? It is not possible. Even Arjuna said, Chanchalam hi manasa Krishna, manah Krishna. Mind is always agitated. The best course is to fix the mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. Manomaya arpitam sthiram. If one seriously engages in Krishna consciousness, that is the highest perfectional stage. All Krishna conscious activities are at the highest perfectional level in level of human life. Hare Krishna. Yeah, that ends this wonderful chapter. And of course, as I said, there is series. Yeah, we just understood a bit of the glories of the devotional service. We will speak to on Monday about what is this material world made up of, or what kind of control it has. So these things to understand what is the need of devotional life. Huh? Can't we can't we have an alternative life? Oh, can't we enjoy this material world forever? This is what we will discuss. This all comes under Sankhya philosophy. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Any questions or any thoughts?
Hmm. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
for explaining this. Although I couldn't attend the entire recitation of the Sankhya philosophy, um, but I have read that this third canto, but still could not understand the entire gist or essence of the Sankhya philosophy. So at this point, I have like kind of three questions, which is um I need to understand first. So,
Mhm.
what is the literal meaning of Sankhya philosophy?
Mhm.
Second is, does Sankhya philosophy emphasizes more the Gyan yoga over Bhakti yoga?
Mhm.
And the third one uh, is it Sankhya yoga from where this concept of dualism or Dvaitavad started?
The third question I don't know, I can't answer, but the other questions I can. Yeah. So the Sankhya philosophy is still the Lord is explaining how one can attain the Lord. Yeah. So of course, um, yeah, we can see when we ask what is the word literal meaning of Sankhya, it is not Sankhya. Sankhya means number, numeric.
Number,
Yeah?
yeah.
No, but this
Mm,
is Sankhya philosophy, which is empirical study of the whole creation of the Lord. The purpose of whole empirical study of the creation is to understand that everything is related to the Lord. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, I am that, I am this, I am that, I am this. For us, this is a sky, for us, that is a lion, for that, that is a season, right? But
mhm,
Krishna is saying how everything is related to him. We can see how Sankhya Yoga, Krishna is saying, in fact, is the purpose is to understand what? Krishna is the supreme. So Sankhya philosophy, Kapila Muni is telling all these things. Of course, he is just clarifying the easiest process is Bhakti Yoga. But
mhm,
Devhuti, his mother is asking also about, can you clarify further about what is the dhyana, what is the jnana? So next chapters will be explaining about the material composition, how this world is created. Yeah, elements,
mhm,
what are these elements and how these elements are not independent but are dependent to the Supreme Lord, and how can one be freed, because when you know the material nature then only you know how to escape it, right? Just like if you are locked up in an escape room, you need, okay, there should be somewhere a key, there should be somewhere a door.
mhm,
If you don't know that you are in an escape room, if you think that here you are just in the four walls, you will not even have a thought, oh, there is an escape chance. So this philosophy is helping us to understand the material world where we are living, how it is connected to the Lord, and what is the real purpose of us being locked up here.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Yes, Prabhuji. So for a like devotee who is not that much
It is said that
like
Sankhya
intelligent.
philosophy, one should not see Sankhya philosophy is different from Bhakti Yoga. Because
Okay.
it's, yeah, we of course through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we know this most easiest form of devotional service, right? And of course,
Mm,
when Kapila Muni is telling everything, he's also telling how to take a breath and how to practice this yoga, which is
mm,
still to remember to focus mind in the Paramatma in the heart. So which
mm,
means is also Bhakti Yoga only. Hmm?
mm,
So that's
mm.
why it said it's not that Sankhya philosophy is something different. In fact, it is also Bhakti Yoga. So with a holistic explanation about the world where we are living.
Okay.
Yeah. So you were
Okay.
asking something, sorry. Hmm?
No, I mean, as per Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like Bhakti Yoga, like where we basically need to establish a loving relationship with Krishna, where in any of this form, like Dasya, Sakhya, Madhurya, any of
Mm-hmm.
this form,
Mm-hmm.
and where uh, we must emphasize that there has to be a relation between me and Krishna. But
Mm-hmm.
Sankhya is more into this exercise part, like how to do this. Like that's what it's more in depth, where people has to understand, have to apply their brain to understand what is actually the thing is happening.
Well, everything needs understand to advance rapidly or advance very progressively, right? So whether it is Bhakti Yoga also, Yukta Vairagyam, it's not just Vairagyam. So
Mm,
Bhakti Yoga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us this simple 5 ways of how to attain the perfection. Yeah, by chanting, by doing deity worship, by visiting pilgrimages, by having association of devotees, reading Bhagavatam and all this. So very easy formula. Yeah,
mm,
but in each of them you need to go deeper, right? Chanting is not just saying Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We have to go more deeper and deeper in our meditation. And when we go to pilgrimage, doesn't mean that we just go there and no. We also need to identify the nature. And if you see Sankhya philosophy is telling, hey, where are we? What is this
mm.
world about? So similarly, going to a pilgrimage is not just for a tourism, but it's actually really understanding the mood of the present, the spiritual energy that is prevailing there. So many things, then you can be connected. Yeah. So yoga, that's why it says all these are yoga means to connect.
Yes, Babuji. Mm.
Connecting with the holy name, connecting with the holy dham, connecting with the holy scriptures, connecting with the holy deities. Everything is connection. Now, how much depth can we go? Is there a limit?
Yes, Babuji. So it's basically like, instead of having a blind faith over the supreme god, it's actually like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right. So it's also giving us
more light and
more.
of knowledge.
Yeah.
Why should he do
Yeah.
build this faith? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
We have.
Prabhuji.
Yeah. To give us more awareness. Yeah. Otherwise,
Yes,
tomorrow one may
Prabhuji.
not say, no, just you have blindly followed. Yeah? There is difference. There is also this one. If one want answer, there is definitely an answer, whether we care or not. It is said that if one is sentimentally doing, after some time he will not continue to do. He really needs support of this jnana. Yeah. So that he can maintain. Otherwise, he will go more into vairagya, which is like, oh,
Mm.
without devotion. Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you. Someone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Mm-hmm. Hare Krishna. Sarika Mata.
Uh, Prabhuji, you talked about Raganuga Bhakti.
Mm-hmm. In Raganuga
So,
Bhakti, this is a stage where you have already have a very nice um, mm, connection, a relationship that you're able to feel the mood of the Lord. Hmm? It is not at the moment when I'm doing japa, I'm just
yes,
mechanically doing, or maybe, as a duty
yes,
I'm doing, as a purification I'm doing. In the case of
yes, Prabhuji.
associates, they have spontaneous love, spontaneous attraction to the Lord. And this is a genuine one. We are not talking about sahajiyas who have just imitated like those of the gopis. The gopis and those great
Yes,
devotees, na, they are having the
ji,
raganuga bhakti, ragatmika bhakti. Hmm? Raga means this feeling. Yes, Mataji?
some are considering him as their son. Some are considering with some other relation. Uh, right?
If we are considering Mataji, I mean, I shouldn't say, but if we consider the chances of we becoming sahajiyas is higher because
Yeah,
just because I am doing this to the Lord, just because I am doing
yeah.
that to the Lord, that's why now I am having that kind of devotion.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we just count how much time we are spending with that mood to
Yes,
the compared to the how much time we are spending for our own self, that can
right.
help us to understand that is called. Just like Namabhas, yeah, when we are chanting, sometimes we may experience some thrill, or sometimes we may feel some tears coming out of our eyes, all these things, right? We have not yet attained Krishna, but we have just from a very, very dint of light, yeah, we may feel, oh, Krishna, I'm able to feel you a little, but he again jumps off, again goes away from that feel. So there is a
Yeah,
whole
Ji Prabhuji.
whole horizon of bhakti in that spontaneous relationship with the Lord.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
Mm.
It's I think it's a how do I say, if I talk about myself, I think I'm at the very very far from that and then it's the how do you say, the goal at
Yeah,
the end.
yeah,
To
yeah. So at the moment we can just focus that let me become let me become a decent devotee. Decent devotee means, we can offer our due respect to the
yeah,
Lord.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's not like, hey, now you are my son, let me put you in my lap, let me,
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, we have to be,
yeah, because Prabhuji, I have seen, like, when you go to Vrindavan or you see people carrying
mm, Dadu
Laddu
Gopal.
Gopal,
Yeah.
calling him son.
Yeah,
So
but
that was coming in my
yeah,
mind
I
when
have
I was
seen devotees
asking.
who have that, but again, I see they are eating meat, or if not meat, they are eating
Yeah,
onion, garlic. If not onion, garlic, they are always engaged in their own prajalpa. If not that, so we can see, we cannot call them as they are in the Raganuga Bhakti. Hmm. If one is exhibiting these feelings, it is feelings of, yeah, today you will have, tomorrow you will not have. It's just a matter of time.
Ji Prabhuji. Yeah,
Yeah, as soon
yeah.
as problems come, na, Krishna goes away.
Goes away from, yeah, their life. Yeah,
I mean, not that he
true.
will go away. I'm saying that
Yeah,
we will forget him. He is not part of our life anymore because I have to handle so many small, small things immediately. So that's why
true.
it's very important to really gradually advance in bhakti. It is not just if someone had exhibited that bhav, can also do that. No, one has to take to a process, just like
Ji Prabhuji.
a raw
Yeah,
piece of, what do you call this, ore, right? What do you call ore?
Ji
You
Prabhuji.
may
Yeah,
there's a diamond inside it, not outside. Yeah, so we have to really very carefully remove all the impurities, polish it, polish it, polish it, that it has the right cut, and then you can see the shine. It doesn't just say, ah, no, 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 this stone is diamond, let me keep it. No one will appreciate it, right? One has to go through that all purification so that we can offer, just like a banana. Yeah, do we give banana to a kid when we say, oh, let me take out the skin and then give it the fruit, right? So we also have to remove all those coverings and then offer. Then when all these coverings are removed, then our real identity is whatever the connection, right? Spontaneous, that will come. But before removing that, if we do, it is just kind of a drama. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that Sarika Mataji? I don't know. Maybe she got dropped.
Yeah, yeah. Her internet was not good because her voice was also breaking before when she was talking.
Okay. Okay. If no other questions, then we will drop off. So tomorrow is a long day, big day. Sarika Mataji, I don't know whether you can come, but in Noise we are having a program. Pratik Prabhu, I forgot. Have you registered for tomorrow's program?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. No, I haven't.
So tomorrow you are there, or?
I will be at university, so yeah.
Acha, acha. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Fine, fine.
But yeah, I can come. I can manage. Yeah, I can come. I didn't see where
it is or anything.
Information. Okay. Yeah, maybe Rupa or Adrasa Prabhu, can you share
Yeah,
in the group? And you are in the group, na, Sadhana? Or
I don't know.
you don't know? Okay.
I guess so.
Maybe we will share with you personally, Prabhuji.
Yeah, we will reach out to
Yeah,
you.
yeah, Maharaj. Sorry. Hare Krishna.
The program starts at 2:30, so yeah, from 2:30 you can join us.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Okay then.
And Sarika Mataji is also there. Sarika Mataji, maybe I will call